guys, it's Monet with TICLife. Today was the first day of school. As you see, I am actually at my table that's in my teacher area, and I'm going to do a tour, but it won't be this video, so that's why I'm kind of like filming right here. Today went very well. Today was more so like rituals and routines. I only had 16 students today, but they've already assured us that they're going to trickle in the remaining period of this week. So I'm excited. The highlight of my day is at the end of the day. So we had lunch, and then they had recess, and when we came back in, it was 1:30. We started dismissal at 2 o'clock. So by the time they came in and I started talking with them and teaching them just another class attention getter, and we were practicing and just going back into instruction after recess. About 2 o'clock, the principal got on the intercom, and he was like, okay, you guys, we're going to start dismissal. And my class, like, they said, oh, man, like, they did not want to go home. So that's never happened to me. And I'm just being honest. Usually students are like, okay, I'm ready to go back home. I miss summer. I want to go to sleep. I can't wait to see my parents. But they didn't want to leave, and that made me feel good because that's how I know they had a good day. And so, yeah, that's the first, and I'm happy. Tomorrow I will meet with each class, so we will rotate tomorrow, so everybody will get the rundown. So I really don't have to make copies or anything today, and I'm excited about that because I am wore out. Like, it's not like beat up, like, oh, I had such a bad day or anything like that. It's just with all that prep time, and then I woke up extra early because teachers had to report earlier today, which I didn't really mind anyway, but just getting in the swing of things, I'm just tired. I just want to lay down and I want to take a mental break. I will be getting together like my roster. Like, now I have access to the county's, we call it Infinite Campus, so if that makes sense to anybody, I got access to Infinite Campus today, so now I can see their phone numbers, the emergency contacts, birthdays, like things that nature. So I'm going to use Infinite Campus tonight to just fill in my student information cards. I believe it's pretty accurate, so I'm going to use my Meet the Teacher form and Infinite Campus. So I'll do that tonight while looking at Insecure, which is like my guilty pleasure. And I also want to make some cards, so the students have to know their lunch number when they go to the cafeteria. And today I had to kind of rush and do it, but I'm going to redo their cards tonight so that in the morning I can just pass them out while they're in line. And it also has their address and emergency contact, because when they get on the bus, they have to give that to the bus driver, so in the case of an emergency or the parent is not home, the bus driver knows who to contact after they tell the school. So I mean, it's a little work, but I'm not doing anything heavy in regards to instruction because we're still just doing rituals and routines, and I didn't meet with my other team, well, my other classes today. So tomorrow I will be giving them the same presentation that I gave my students today. So that gives me a little peace. So tonight we're having pizza. Mama's picking up pizza. We're having chips. We're having some soda. We're watching TV. And then the kids are going to bed, and Mommy's going to do some little stuff. But other than that, it was a great day. Something that I did observe today, I did give a pre-assessment for writing. Yes, on the first day. I just made it seem like it was a fun activity. We listened to the read aloud for Thank You, Mr. Falker. I wrote a reading prompt. I did a PowerPoint on quotes from the story. Like, there was a quote regarding how we're different when she asked her grandmother, am I different? So we talked about that, and we talked about bullying, and we talked about knowledge. And so once we discussed it as a class, I had a writing prompt that just said, Patricia Polacco shared her story with you. Now share your story with me. Choose a special moment from your life. So it went into personal narratives, which is our first writing style for writing. And so I got a chance to see them pre-write and write, and it's not horrible, but I can definitely, it gave me a great baseline. I made sure they did it independently. They didn't talk or anything like that, which, of course, on the first day, they're pretty much on their P's and Q's because they're trying to give you a good impression, but I was able to get my baseline for my homeroom. In regards to reading, With my homeroom, what I will say is I identified today that a lot of my instruction will have to be whole group, small group, and their independent work will have to, or their independent activities will have to be very limited and easy to guide through, because I do have some strugglers. That's not a word. I just made it up. I know. My students are low. I will have to definitely do a lot of differentiation, do a lot of small groups. I don't do homework technically. I do, but I don't. So what I do for homework, number one, homework is a percentage of their grade, and the county looks for it, and the school looks for it to be represented in the rubric and grading scale for each grading period. So and my team does homework as well. Like, we had a meeting and we discussed it, and they wanted to do homework, so we're doing homework. I don't have any problems with it, but I'm not giving it every night. So what I've decided to do with homework, for the sake of my students, number one, I'm a parent. Number two, I am a student. I know how it feels to have a long day of work or a long day of learning, and then you have to go home and do even more learning. And then for those students that are in extracurricular activities or don't have the best home situation or don't have the resources at home to complete them, I feel for them. I don't think you should be penalized because you can't do homework. It's not that serious, because at the end of the day, they could take it home and mama could do it. So, I mean, that grade really wasn't earned because mama did it, or a big sister did it, or whomever decided to do the homework. So I don't put too much meat into homework. But what I've decided to do, for the sake of saying, hey, they had the opportunity to practice at home, I'm going to do a takeaway folder. Inside of the takeaway folder, they get 3 activities per week. They have Monday through Friday to complete it. My takeaway activities are a max of 5 questions. So it could be one sheet could have 2 questions, another sheet could have 4 questions, another sheet could have 5 questions. But it's only 5 questions. I do that because at the end of the day, when you give a task, you know when a student can do it or they cannot do it. You don't need 20 questions to see if a student has mastery. Again, the folder will have 3 activities. They have until Friday to turn it in. I do have tutoring on Monday and Tuesdays, not Tuesdays and Thursdays, because now we have professional learning on certain Thursdays, and I don't want to have that inconsistency. So I've decided to tutor on Mondays and Tuesdays 1 hour after school. So they can also bring those activities to tutorial, and I will assist them with their homework. But that way it can never be said, hey, my student was struggling and you didn't give homework, or they didn't have that extra practice for me to help them at home with. So we're ruling out that excuse, because that's exactly what it is. And I will be satisfying my county obligation and my parent obligation, because you do have some parents that they own it. They're like, what else I gotta do at home? And so to make everybody happy, that's how I plan to do it. And students have the opportunity to ask me questions about it throughout the week, and that way it's not a pressure like every night. If they have rehearsal on Mondays, then you have Tuesday through Thursday to get it done. If they have practice on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, well, please try to do it Tuesday, Thursday. And so I'm just trying to be as flexible as possible to, again, meet that need. I will be doing a tour probably on Friday or Thursday when things calm down. And yeah, tell me if you like this video. I'm thinking about just filming a little bit each day. I will try to film parts of my lessons. One activity that I really liked, and I want to show you guys real quick. So what we did was we discussed certain words like leadership and respect. Today we focused a lot on respect, because that's something that you should automatically give somebody out of the gate. You should always respect somebody. And so I had 3 anchor charts. One said respect for self, the other said respect for others, and the other one said respect for Miss Brown. And so what I did was I went around the room and I put them in groups. So like I would, how you're in a group and they say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now all the 1s go over here, all the 2s go over here, all the 3s go over here. So they were split up like that. So they worked with their buddies and things like that. And so I gave everybody Post-its, or I call them stickies. and they had their pencils, and they went to each chart, and I played the song Respect by Aretha Franklin just to kind of lighten the mood, and students could dance from one poster to another. They did so well. They taught with one another about it. They helped each other spell words. I got to see how well they could collaborate. Of course, there were some people that couldn't collaborate too well, and I could definitely identify those students that didn't know how to read or didn't know how to write or didn't feel comfortable writing. And it was so cute because during my presentation that I created in emaze, if you don't know what emaze is, look it up. It's awesome. It's free. And I told them, like, Miss Brown is an awesome teacher. I love English. I love you. I give my best every single day. You're going to give me your best every single day. And so guess what? If you don't know how to read, when you get out of here, you're going to know how to read. If you don't know how to write, don't worry. When you get out of here, you're going to know how to write. So when they were going from anchor chart to anchor chart, there was this one student. He told another student, he was like, I don't know how to write. Like, he kind of whispered it to her. And then she was like, oh, don't worry. Miss Brown said she's going to have you writing by the end of the year. And I was like, children believe anything you say, and I love it. I love it. So they went anchor chart by anchor chart, and now I'll just like show you a little bit of the anchor charts so you can see how active. And it was so funny because I got on them. So this is mine. It says respect for Miss Brown, and you see I only have like a few. Like I have one from the orange group. I have 6 from the pink, 4 from the green. And so I read it and we discussed it, and I was like, okay, we know how to respect Miss Brown. So then they rotated and they came over here to respect for others. Now look at this. My anchor chart, their anchor chart. So they put how they can respect other people. So then they came all the way over here, and I try to put them in, 3 different areas or whatever. And so this respect for self. So they definitely know how to respect themselves and others, their peers. But they were just really confused on how to respect Miss Brown. But we talked about it, and we had a good laugh. And the kids were like, no, Miss Brown, that's my sticky. I know how to respect you. I'm going to respect you this year. So I thought it was cute. So if you want a really nice way, and it was timed perfectly, they were able to get up, move around, collaborate, use their mind, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed that activity. So tomorrow, when I see my 3 other classes, they're going to do the same thing. I purposely gave them stickies. That way I don't have to redraw the anchor charts. And then once I have everybody's stickies, I will then permanently write what they said, and I'm going to put them on the wall. So if they ever forget how to respect Miss Brown or how to respect others or how to respect their self, we can dig into it then. I also did an anchor chart for leadership. The presentation said, let's talk about leadership. And so I just put leadership looks like, feels like, sounds like. We weren't able to really dig into that one due to time. And so, yeah, we weren't able to dig into it because of like the time and everything, but that just gives me one more thing that I can do with the students in the morning. I kind of want to do a grammar activity for my students and then play my dice game. I talked about it with my 6th graders. I talked about it before, how I use it with 6th grade. So, and it's so easy to do. Oh, it's so easy. So what I can do is I can just start a PowerPoint presentation and just put a paragraph for like 3 sentences or so with errors. And then you give them a sheet of paper, you give them an index card, and you tell them and you show them how to correct the sentence. And then you take your dice and the students, you can put them in teams, or it could be independent. And so you read the first sentence and you say, okay, what's the first error? You go in order that the errors occur. And if the students answer correctly, you roll. If the student does not answer correctly, you can either choose another student if somebody hasn't already hollered out, or you can answer a whole group and nobody gets the point. But they love it. They love to roll the dice, and you get to see how their revision skills are, how their editing skills are. So I really like to do that. And again, it's just something that's out of the box. It gets them moving. It gets them thinking. And so I may start our day that way. My Promethean board, or my smart board, didn't want to work today, but by the glory of God, I did something and I got it to turn on, but now I can't turn it off. And I'm like, oh God, I don't want the bulb to die out, and then I don't have a smart board for the rest of the year. So you guys, like, pray for my Promethean board. So I'm excited. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because by the time my homeroom does the grammar activity, it'll be time to rotate. And then in the afternoon, we have to do our code of conduct book. So my day is pretty much planned. Hey, and I'm trying not to do a lot of paper. I'm trying to do a lot of things that are digital. We get our Chromebooks next week, so we'll start working in Google Classroom next week, and so that'll also cut down on paper. But I am just so ecstatic and happy. Had a great day. The students love my classroom. They followed rules very well. I never rose my voice, and I told them, like, Miss Brown stays at 5. Now, when we have our happy moments and we're getting active, I might go to a positive 8, but I'll never go to 10 with you. And we talked about that during the respect part. Like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm never going to call you outside of your name. I'm never going to put my hand in your face. I say, yes, Miss Brown teaches with her hands. I talk with my hands. But I would never in a negative or belittling motion, like, talk down to you. I'll never go to 10. I will politely tell you to exit my classroom, and I'll close that door. You can go to 10 with that wall out there, but I'm never going to disrespect you, and I hope that you never disrespect me. And you should have seen the looks that they gave me. We did have to do 10 minutes of recess. Like, we sat out of recess for 10 minutes, but that's because they had moments where they talked. So, you know, I had talked to you guys before about mean what you say what you mean. And so I had a few that had silent lunch. They didn't like silent lunch. So I know I'm going to probably move somebody. Like, I have that standing area. I have a student has to sit over there, and I might have somebody sit over where my computer stand is. And that's where they're sitting, because they're talkative. So that's where they're going to be until they can kind of learn to talk when it's time to talk. And I told them there's a time to talk, there's a time to play, but we have to know the difference. And so good day. I'm tired. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have any suggestions or questions in regards to emaze, let me know. It's emaze.com. It's awesome. I like it because it reminds me of Google Drive. You know how you create a PowerPoint, but you have to have a flash drive, or you got to have this, that, and the fourth. On emaze, you can make presentations, and you can just simply log into the computer that's hooked up to the projector and go straight to your account, and it's right there. So I like that. There's no email it to me or put the flash drive in or let me type in a code. Like, you go straight to your presentation. It has awesome effects. The students really liked it because it kept their attention. If you have any questions about my grammar, let me know. I think I'm just going to go ahead and make a PowerPoint with the 3 sentences, have the students copy it down and write the correct signals for correcting it. Let me know. If you have any questions about my anchor chart activity, how I got them to walk around, let me know. And everything else will be explained later on. So I will record, I'm going to post my first day by itself. So if you enjoyed this video, and I will record the rest of the week, and I'll post that probably on Saturday. And I am going to do a class tour, which will be its own video. So you begin 3 videos this week. I will film the tour on Thursday. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a great beginning. I know I had a great beginning, and I will talk to you guys soon. Tick on. Bye.